before anything else, can we just address my ajumahat? Hello plant hoarders! Welcome to Plant Hoarders Anonymous. I am Meg and I am a plant hoarder. Tinanong ko a few days ago ano yung mga gusto niyo na makita on the channel, and some of you suggested propagation. Since it's a very good time to propagate, guys, tag-ulan, rainy season in the Philippines is the best time to propagate. Napaka ego boosting. It sets you up for success. Mataas ang humidity, hindi masyadong mainit yung araw, and it's a very encouraging environment for propagation to grow. Iba-iba rin kasing style. Siguro dahil iba-iba rin yung environment natin, iba-iba rin yung attention na mabibigay natin sa mga halaman natin. Some people are more successful with one medium than the other. Some people like it in water, some people like it in soil na diretso. Mind you, most growers, lalo sa Pilipinas, diretso na yan sa soil. Ang gagalingan nila. Kasi ako pag dinidiretso ko sa soil, medyo maliit yung aking success rate. Now, I'm going to show you how I propagate using sphagnum moss. So, bago tayo pumunta sa labas, sa aking messy garden, guys, disclaimer lang. Okay, ang aking garden ay hindi po Instagrammable. Madumi yung mga kuko ko, madumi yung mga gamit, behind the scenes ng mga nakikita nyong magagandang picture sa Instagram. Medyo madumis po, makikita nyo. Marami na nakakapansin na hindi naman po talaga ako OC na tao sa Instagram kasi lagi daw madumi yung mga dahon ko. Sorry guys, sorry. So magpasensyahan nyo na po, sana may matutunan pa rin kayo. Anyway, so bago tayo lumabas and propagate, papakilala ko muna sa iyo yung mga ginagamit kong tools and materials for propagation. Dahil sphagnum propagation, first and foremost, sphagnum. Ito nabili ko online sa Shopee. Malaki-laki naman na siya. Puno yan. And then meron pa siyang freebie. Pero apparently mahal pa pala siya. I think umabot ng 700 with shipping. Parang ganun. Remember. Pero search nyo lang sa Shopee or sa Lazada na doon kayong mapapadeliver ng sphagnum. Pero apparently, if you buy it from stores, like if you're in Manila, Everrich sa mga anything you need about gardening, okay lang. Hindi naman siya super mura, pero I find it convenient and it goes a long way. So what is sphagnum moss? Obviously, it's moss. So this is the long fiber sphagnum. Ang maganda dito ay it's relatively sterile. Wala siyang mga bacteria na sometimes we have sa soil. So pwedeng maging cause ng rot yung soil or yung mga bacteria na nasa soil. So for more chances of winning, let's try to go with sterile media para sa propagation natin. So ito, sterile siya and it retains just enough water, like bigayin nyo. And it's gonna stay moist and it's gonna give that environment to encourage rooting. Ang gusto ko pa sa sphagnum, dahil hindi naman siya water, yung roots na pinoproduce ng plant, parang almost the roots that would survive na in soil when you move it. As opposed to water, nagkakaroon pa na parang water roots. And then mag-adjust pa siya ulit pagdating sa soil. So, minsan nakaka-nervous yung part na yun. Sphagnum, I learned from summer rain oaks. Well, it's moss, diba? So, ito yung harvest ko na moss. It's not as renewable, say, as cocoa peat. Yan. Ang cocoa peat, renewable resource talaga siya. So, Kung wala namang mga test or infections yung mga propagations nyo, you can use the sphagnum over and over again. So yun, let's also be aware that it's not a very renewable resource. So yun, ito yung itsura ng sphagnum. How I prepare it, guys, pag nagpunta kayo sa bahay, yung basta-basta magbubuklat ng ice cream dahil ito yung mga laman ng yung mga ice cream ko. What I do, I learned this from Aries Plant Trippy at Plant Trippy on Instagram, na I think natutunan naman niya from Macro Photo Boy, also a Filipino na nasa abroad. Ang ganda ng mga begonia, yung mga propagations yan ng begonia, ang dami. So I think he knows what he's talking about. Binabandian ng mainit na water. So I do that. Ibababad mo naman talaga siya. So anyway, ang pambababad ko siya kanya mainit na tubig. And then you cover that, leave that for overnight. Cute na. You just drain this and then you just keep it around. So maganda doon. Ready na siya. Nandiyan na. Huwag nyo lalagay sa freezer. Magdala yung asawa niyo. No, you just keep it room temperature. So whenever you need to propagate, dadaklot ka na lang, di ba? So when you use it, you just wring out any excess water para less chances of rotting. Aside from sphagnum, mga usual na gagamitin natin for propagation ay mga shears, or you can use your regular scissors. If you follow me on Instagram, pinost ko to. Kasi pag nag-garden ako, nagamit ako apron. Tapos dun ko nilalagay yung mga gunting-gunting ko. Eh yung mukuha ko one time. Stab na boob! Stab na boob, guys. So nag-worry naman tong si Josawa. Siyempre, protect the lady parts. So binilan niya ako nito para lalagyan ko ng toast. Yan. So para na akong mangungubra or parlorista. At then lalagyan ko, suot-suot ko siya sa garden. Again, totally unnecessary. When you're dealing with seeds, this is totally unnecessary. Pero, kung addict kayo sa Shopee or sa Lazada, ayan. Ginagamit ko ito pang seedlings. How cute is this? Again, totally unnecessary. You can use your fingers. Ito mas gamitin to sa mga cactus and stuff. So yun. And for rooting, ito optional din. I sometimes use Miracle Grow Fast Root Dry Powder Rooting Hormone. Ayan. Online ko lang din nakuha. Lazada yata. I think this was 7 or something like that. Medyo mahal pero madami naman siya laman. Kasi hindi ko naman siya ginagamit sa lahat. So if a plant is, I know the plant is very easy to root, like Hoya. Huwag na. Pero yung mga medyo delikado, mga ficus, mga monstera, na pwede, madali lang yung monstera, pero pwede siyang marag. Ang maganda dito, aside from it encourages rooting, it also has antifungal. So, meron din siyang fungicide. So, ganda siya. Pero mahal. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo ng all natural, pwede rin naman kayong mag-cinnamon, guys. Laging ginagamit yung cinnamon. Meron ring antifungal properties ng cinnamon. So, okay siya. And it also encourages fruiting. Cinnamon, mura. Ito yung sabi. And Hormex. Ito mura lang din naman yung Hormex. Marami siguro na magamit. Mas readily available to sa stores, sa mga Ace, Wilcon, ganyan. Mabibili nyo to. Tapos, kung cuttings, pwedeng puro na ganito yung gamitin nyo na i-dip nyo. Pwedeng yung kapag kaka-transplant or repot nyo pa lang para hindi ma-transplant shock yung mga plants. Hormex, yung dry powder rooting hormone, the best practice is maglagay ka on a separate container. Makita na ba kayo nito? This is Shangri-La Sleeping Pothos. Commonly, actually hindi pa nga common yung green eh. Pero ito is the golden variety. So meron ako. Mabilis naman siyang humaba. Mahal. Mabit ako eh. So pag ganito, like, pwede nyo i-dip from yung nakahiwalay. Tapos pag yung nagamit nyo na, huwag nyo nang ibalik dun sa lalagyan ha. And then, ganun din sa cinnamon, and pwedeng pwedeng dip. Ito, pwedeng, kunwari, maglagay ka sa cup or sa isang maliit na lalagyan. You dip your cotton for 1 minute before you put it in your propagation media. I'm gonna take you to my garden sa labas. Like I said, disclaimer guys. Disclaimer. Magulo, madumi, disorganized akong magtrabaho sa garden. So, pasensya na. Shout out sa aking ajumahat for saving me from all this heat here in Pampanga. Mainit guys ha. I'm not particularly conscious about my color, pero masakit siya. This time I'm going to propagate seeds kasi itong aking Anthurium bakery meron na siyang mga seed. So I'm going to show you what I do. It's very easy. It's gonna be short. So we find some berries na makikita mo naman yung mga madali ng ma-block out. Kita ba? So isang ganito pwedeng 2 or more. Okay? So ito siya. I think some would soak it in water first. Pero ako din diretso ko na siya sphagnum. So ito, meron na ako ditong sphagnum. Ito pa. I like using mga use Starbucks cups. At least, upcycle mo siya. So ito, meron na akong moist dito. Actually, I have something going on here. Begonia cutting. But this is a lot of sphagnum. So, for this sake, I'm going to use this. And then I'm just going to pisa. Can you see them? Ayan. Little tiny seeds. I'm just going to squeeze them out and cover them a little in sphagnum. Yun. Voila! And you give that a week or 2, makikita mo na talaga silang magsisprout. And yun nga, kaya gusto ko rin ng mga ganitong plastic cups. I also keep the lid, tapos cover mo. It will keep your sphagnum moist kasi ina-maintain yung humidity, pero meron din siyang butas sa taas. So, hindi siya mag-move. Propagation through seeds for Anthurium. Okay, so we're going to propagate from cutting this time in sphagnum pa rin. So, actually, this Hoya Archbaldiana, na-start ko na siya. This broke off from my big plant kasi ang heavy ng leaves niya. So, naputol siya. Ngayon, na-root ko na siya dito. Just 2 weeks, But I'm gonna take more of the cuttings kasi take more cuttings kasi it's so awkward. The Hoyas are very easy to root. Mainly because meron na silang mga, meron na silang parang air roots. They're epiphytic. They drink from the air. Sabi nga ng aking isang friend, si Ten, at Sweet Leaf, sterilize your shears before using them. Kasi baka nagamit mo sa anything na mayroong infection, tapos kakalat lang ng infection. Tanggalin ko na rin siguro muna yung this. Okay, so I have this. And then I'm gonna cut some here. Dahil ang awkward lang talaga, no? Awkward ng weight and shape na. Tapos, this. And this. Na meron ng air roots. And then I also have a pubic helix na who broke off. So I'm gonna take my ice cream. I'm gonna take some moist. This is actually self-watering pot. So if you feel na lose siya moisture, I can water it from the bottom. But totally not necessary. Addict lang ako sa Shopee. So ito na yung mga bago kong cuttings na merong mga little air roots over there. These two. And then I have the pubic helix. I'm just going to wrap these guys. It's sphagnum. I can put some more side. Ano lang, ganun siya kadali. And yun nga, yung first experience ko in a matter of a week or two, you're gonna get some roots from Hoya. So I'm actually swapping some cuttings of my Syngonium chapens. Basta yun, swapping it with for a radiatum ni Nick. I'm going to start the cutting in sphagnum na rin. Ito, pag nagka-cut kayo, you're gonna look at nodes. Nodes are yung parang siko. Yung parang elbows and knees nila. And then you're gonna cut right below it. We're not really gonna need that anyway. Mararat lang siya. Ayan. So, may air roots na siya, guys. Super easy na lang to. I prefer sphagnum propagation over water kasi pag sa tubig mo pa nilagay ito, magde-develop lang to ng water roots and then mag-a-adjust na naman in soil. So, I'm gonna start this. Sphagnum. I got this actually from the late Lola Lina of Growing Show, and it's been growing wild. Basta if you're using a medium na hindi water, wag masyadong soaking. Yan siya, ito yung propagate natin kanina. So ito na yung ating propagation box. Yung pinapagit natin kanina sa Syngonium. Just going to mix everyone. Wala! Haggard na si Ajuma. Oily na ako, sorry. So I showed you how I propagate using sphagnum, from seed and from cuttings. Hindi ko pa mapakita yung from leaf, pero nakita niyo sa video na meron akong begonia leaf cutting na nandun. So hopefully mag-root siya and maybe we can do an exclusive begonia propagation video. Pero for now, so yun muna. And then on the next video, we will pot the successful propagations from sphagnum para makita naman natin yung transition. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell button para ma-update naman kayo ano na nangyari. Successful ba talaga si Meg sa pinagkagagawa niya sa sphagnum? Kung meron kayong comments, questions, and other suggestions na or may mali-mali akong pinagkagagawa sa buhay ko, guys, sabihin niyo sa comments. Sabihin niyo lang sa comments. Kwentuhan tayo sa comments with the other 2 of my subscribers. So yun, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!